What's happening, everybody? You are now tuning in to the Producer's Corner with Spud Too Tight. The show will be geared towards upcoming and seasoned music producers to share and educate each other about what tools to use and what steps to take to become an industry standard music producer. And for those of you that would like to contact me for any questions or suggestions, hit me up at spudtootight@gmail.com. And that's spudtootight@gmail.com. And I'm also on MySpace, man. From a MySpace account, hit me up at www.myspace.com/spudtootight. And if you didn't get a chance to listen to last week's episode, I was discussing musical influences and the musical influences that are in my arsenal as a listener, as a fan. You know, I think it's real important and it's real crucial to have any influence in your life. I mean, you know, being a creator, if you consider yourself to be a creative person, having those influences that you guys have in common definitely helps you set goals and gives you a direction and a map to follow as a creator yourself. Not to become that person, but you definitely want to develop the habits and become a hard worker, like the major influences that you should have in your life and you want to become a part of and move into that direction. Your profession as a musician, producer, singer, actress, whatever it is that you want to do, you know, having those influences in your life gives you, to me, it motivates me to become great. Like some of the influences I've mentioned in the last episode: Teddy Riley, Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson, Prince, Jimi Hendrix, George Duke, and Herbie Hancock. And you know, I got so in depth and details about so many of them, and I didn't get a chance to really touch on all of them that I wanted to. So, you know, this part of the show, I just kind of wanted to touch base a little bit more on my other two major influences as a musician, as a keyboard player. I've always looked up to Herbie Hancock and George Duke as my go-to guys for just becoming just an overall better player. You know, watching those guys and listening to them on their CDs, you know, it just makes me feel like a beginner all over again. You know, even with the experience that I have being as a player, you know, it's just they, in my opinion, man, they just take it to another level of where music can go, and you know how great of a player you can be. And you know, I believe music, and along with some of the other art forms out there, you know, to me, I feel that you get better with age, you know, as time progresses and you get older. And I think a lot of it too, you know, even outside of the ability, because you know, a lot of us have great ability as players. You know, we have speed, we have great dexterity, but you know, for me as a player and as a musician, and I listen to other great players around me and on CDs and radios that I listen to, radio stations I listen to, and I listen to some of the jazz, the older jazz. You know, I think it's an ear development training. I believe these guys have been around for so long. They've heard so much music and different genres of music. You know, so it's just the experience, you know, that the ear has. You know, it's like the more you listen to, the more diverse you'll be as a musician. So I think a lot of it too is just, you know, with Herbie Hancock and George Duke, you know, having that background in jazz, having that background in R&B and pop, and also bringing that into fusion. Their jazz fusion background is just phenomenal. And again, it's as the ear progresses, it makes your playing ability progress also, because you know, you play what you hear, and if you're hearing something out of the ordinary, that's, you know, more of an advanced player, you know, then you tend to find yourself being a better player. Just because your ear is developing, it's going to translate into that ability for you to display that on the craft that you're working on. You know, at least for